These are moments. These are like, moments if you happen to see them and then you go, oh, boom, there's the lady in the evening gown. I saw her performance last week. What's she doing in the window?
In 15 minutes she's gone.
And then she's gone. Some of these projects are very traditional per se. Some are built on the character being in the environment, talking to people, having interactions, and that's how those performances get constructed.
It's both dance and poetry, and it is focused on a set of
On what?
concepts that have to do with embodying the future.
We need a more controlled space, so we're thinking Pitzer and Downtown Center Black Box, and maybe one each
In
weekend.
each case, there's a set of issues and conflicts and movement that goes into reforming ourselves to the point of self-surgery, kind of stitching each other up. So the transforming of various things from present and past is a kind of tie. There's some cocooning, the idea of metamorphosis and sort of wrapping and transformation.
Museum of Radical.
Gender and sex matrix, like a museum of the future where women's bodies are and functions are honored. And part of the theme of this project would be women's body as endangered ecosystem. 50% of American women don't have orgasm, so I wanted to collect those stories, particularly from Pomona, and be putting those stories into a show called Monologues the Vagina Really Wants to Tell.
I'm part of a duo. We're called the Paro Special, and we do a performance painting with kind of a live audience who usually don't expect us to be there. So we like to do it in a place where there's a lot of traffic, but not necessarily people who are there to see us.
Wrong. Do you know who he is?
No, I don't.
You don't know who he is? He's the most famous graffiti artist who does outdoor performance paintings of his graffitis.
Okay.
And you don't know who that is?
I don't.
You need to do research.
Wrong.
I'm a multimedia artist, and what I'll be doing is producing a music video and an installation based on the music video. The music video will educate, entertain, and hopefully enlighten the public about our strategic moment in time with a vision for a people-centered worldview.
It's a music video, and it's kind of going, well, where's the music? Where's the storyboard for the music? This is not a storyboard.
Right, no, this is not a storyboard. This is just presenting the concepts that'll be presented in this video.
You read the concepts
Yeah, okay.
a number of times. So what we need to do is see the real storyboard.
And this work has to be at a certain level. So, going from concept to work is a big lot of work. So, we don't want you to wait till the last minute. We want you to start making this real as fast as possible. So you can find out if your ideas are really going to work.
The work is a sound-based installation, and it focuses on the concept of intensive, deep listening. It conjures up this idea of the Sibyl's cave that one has to go into and engage in that whole process. And
This is Gail's job. Okay, this is where she has to listen and say yes, no. She has to do that because we're not sophisticated enough. Okay, and we can help you focus in terms of content and meaning and structure and schedule. But the other part has to come from your group and from Gail.
Little narrative plaques, probably just laminated pieces of paper that could last outdoors for a couple of months. That would be the next 50-year history.
And then people would go around and
You
find
have
The
to have
future
that.
history tour.
The future history tour.
This was the place where the Morgasm riot took place. 2004. Okay, we'll do that.
So first you have to write what the different plaques are, then you have to figure out what's the best way. But you can't just have plastic paper.
Okay.
They
actually
really have
like
to look
plaques.
historical.
So maybe even leave them up.
Yes.
Oh yes, no. This is one of these lasting permanent things of the
Okay.
UTM.
All right.
I have this idea that I want to get a horse, Cal Poly, and to ride the streets. And, it's kind of quizzing Cheryl, is that a Pomona police thing, or what's your take on something like
We
that?
have the horse patrol down here most second and fourth Saturdays.
I want to be this metaphor on the horse, and would that be an issue?
Just do it.
What I'd like to do is have a performance in some space, in a window, and have a dozen of these eggs that I make out of ceramic, and you're allowed to open them up as you come by and hear the performance that I'm going to be talking about. And during the story, I discuss the concepts of science, and they kind of go back and forth.
It's going to be a storyboard?
It's going to be a book.
It's a performance, you'll be reading the book?
Right.
You do your installation that way, as an egg cart?
And stop and tell the stories? That would be a great idea, yes.
We want to address all these issues that we had, that we read in the handouts that we got. The pollution, the problem with the food, the water, I mean, all of that, the toxic waste. We try to find the solution for what is going to happen in the future. And there is this huge fear and sense of urgency. We have to take actions, we have to do something. And that's how we come up with those dualities, like fear and love, not hate and love, but fear and love.
It used to be. We were talking before this time. We had before. It's ready to fly. Can you work first? Yeah. Yeah.
Don't tell me this is too tight.
This is the foundation for the love structure, the figure that will represent love. And these are extensions. We've been reading a book by Bell Hooks that we really love, where she uses the definition of love is extending oneself. Love is extending oneself for the benefit of one's own or another's spiritual growth. And in the Bell Hooks book, she does talk about how images of violence capture our attention much more easily, and that we don't really know how to show images of love that capture our attention the same way as violence. And so we found that to be true.
Yeah, because it was so much easier for us to depict how the fear looks, or what is the nature of the fear. And like, it's huge, it's dark, it's overwhelming. It has all these like elements like of the violence, terror, everyday life. This will be the look of fear. So inside will be people this size. Okay, so everything will be covered with this plastic. As a large part, that's why we had this skeleton. But maybe it's too, I don't know, maybe we get rid of that part. But it's really like, it was so easy, and then to depict the love, that was just impossible. And we're still like debating because
I feel like it's a spirit, like I want it to have more of a spirit type quality. We do, but we both agreed that we wanted it to be without gender.
So does this mean you need a sound system too?
No,
We were collaborating as well on
Pam
that.
has a great idea.
You know, there's
Sound packs.
there's sound packs, portable sound packs that these puppets can wear.
Then we were thinking we want to deconstruct the fear and have probably a little plant or the tree that is open up like as a heart, and then the fear would collapse. And then we were thinking about actually having that tree planted at the end of the whole process that we had here. And we talked to Ed.
We're gonna do it in Thomas Plaza, and we're gonna find a spot.
And this.
So I'm excited. I've had a really interesting, the last 2-3 weeks, you know, I got my group going. We've done our whole, you know, artist statements and bios. I've met with Barbara, and I feel like she's there for us. And you know how I was in a panic about how would it be represented. And I you know, when I look it over,